Good afternoon, lunch and learners. Welcome to episode 72. And today, you know the routine. It is August 9th, 2023, the only August 9th of 2023 you'll ever have in your life until we experience time travel. And we have Coach Juan, we have Coach Cecilia, and Coach Bruce with us today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for spending a part of your lunch hour with us.
Thank
All
you.
right. Which of the distinguished three coaches wants to talk about today's subject, discipline?
What do we have? Ceci, are you okay to talk now? Because Ceci's not at home. She's out and about. So that's why we're.
Okay, I just want to ask, for me, discipline is a concept that brings people order, calmness, prosperity, love, and harmony. And bring all that deeper to the concept that you just mentioned, the word freedom. I'm a classroom teacher. I was, I had asked the students at the beginning of the year to come up with their own classroom rules. So we will start the new year, the new event, with a new year with the new rules, but not created by me, but created by them. So when they do that, they will be compromised to follow what they create, and they will be happier. They will feel happier, and they knew what to do, how to respond to that. So for me, it was a very positive experience to having rules. I have a good experience in lo que es classroom management because I have my classroom rules, and the students were themselves governing themselves. They had the freedom to choose, and they knew that when they didn't follow the rule, they knew what to do. I didn't have to tell them; they knew what to do. And one of the rules I remember is you need to just say thank you to people all the time. So it's positive. It's in creating a positive way, never negative, but say thank you, acknowledge the presence, and say thank you to people, whatever they do. So those little things are helping me in my life, in my personal life, my social life, to become a better human being and a better citizen wherever I go. So we need those guidelines in any society. And it's better if we come up with those rules, but this moment that rules coming from a different source, and it's up to us. We choose to follow or not. But I always learn that if you follow things, it's better to follow things is a good result. And if not, you can get the opportunity or ask for the opportunity for speak up and say why you don't follow the rules. Right.
We just heard from Coach Cecilia. We got the perspective of a school teacher. Now let's get the perspective of a former student. Coach Juan, did you feel like you had the freedom to choose to follow the rules in school?
Never, never. I didn't. I wasn't lucky enough to have a teacher like Coach Ceci. I wasn't fortunate enough to have her in my as my teacher. But it's. I mean, I love what she's saying. Because for me, I was introduced to two sides of the coins when it came to discipline. At the introduction of discipline for me was in the disciplinary action. If you misbehave, you're gonna get disciplined. There's gonna be discipline. Oh, if you misbehave, I'm gonna tell you pops, and he's gonna discipline you when he gets home from work. So like, I was terrified, like when you're gonna get disciplined, especially when your dad's gonna talk to you, like, go ahead and eat. After that, I'm gonna talk to you. Like, of course you're not gonna eat. You're not gonna enjoy your meal because you're thinking you're gonna get spanked. But you know what? Now as I get older and like recently I've been learning about more about discipline and the positive connotation on the good side of the coin. And discipline equals freedom because once you learn how to discipline yourself to do certain things in a certain way, then you're gonna enjoy discipline. But if you were like me, going to school and like I was terrified about the word discipline, I mean, the sooner you get on the other side of the coin and you learn that there's a positive side of discipline, the better off you're going to be. So that's my input for today, coaches.
Very good. Thank you. It reminds me, I had a fourth grade teacher, and we had a rule that one person collects the money for those school books. I think it was Tab was the company. And one time this girl lost all the money. And the teacher brought up the next day, she says, Liz feels horrible because she lost all the money and we're going to take a vote. And you're either voting that Liz replaces all the money or you're going to have sympathy for Liz and everybody's going to put in their money again. So Liz doesn't have to be 100% responsible. Well, Liz lost the first vote. The next day we took a vote in the morning. Liz lost again, but by a smaller margin. In the evening before we went home, we took another vote. And again, Liz lost. And the next day in the morning, another vote. Liz lost again by the smallest of margins. And finally, by the afternoon when we were going home, we took another vote and Liz won. And this teacher, she would always brag that we are a democracy. I thought, well, we are a democracy, but you are the majority. We'll keep voting until you get the vote you want.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So were we free to set the rules? I don't think so. You know, but after the fact, you could say we set those rules. We all voted to pony up again and pay our fees. But we were going to keep voting until the teacher got the vote she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So discipline, we talked about this before we went live. If the goal, the outcome is self-imposed, you know, say you want to lose weight, say you want to run a 10K, say you want to achieve some goal, you want to double your revenue for your company, then you're imposing the discipline. There are going to be days you don't feel like doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you remind yourself, this is in the service of achieving my goal. And then you discipline yourself to get back to business, doing what you would set out to do. Discipline is freedom in those times for me. If it's something imposed from the outside and I don't agree with what the objective of the authority is, you know, like if it's an autocratic government that says we're collecting all the Hispanics and we're going to take them out to the field, we're going to shoot them. But that's the law. And anybody who hides the Hispanics is going to get killed themselves. Is discipline then good? I don't think so. So if discipline is self-imposed, it's what makes things happen. If it's outside imposed, it can be extremely destructive. And that's my 2 cents for today.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you mentioned, you know, like your weight, because for me, and maybe in the last 6 months, I think maybe within those 6 months, I lost maybe like 20 pounds. But that's because when I got on the scales, 105 kilos, which is like almost 230 pounds, I'm like, dude, this is not, I need to do something about it. So I didn't discipline myself. I just like, I need to find out a workout that's going to work out for me like 4 to 5 days a week. Sometimes I do it 4, sometimes I do 5. But, you know, I just go on there. I set my timer for 30 minutes each day. Then I find out different workouts that I enjoy doing, not something that I hate doing. Because if I go into a workout hating it, that's a negative. That's the negative discipline. But when you enjoy something that you're doing, and the results just like start happening, like boom, 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 and I was like, wow, it was so easy to do it, just 30 minutes a day. I remember when I first tried to do this, I was doing it in a different way, like trying to discipline myself. Or like, oh, I gotta cut what I eat, I gotta watch what I eat, I have to work out harder, but that has nothing to do with it. You work smarter, you can eat whatever you want to eat. You got to be mindful, and you have to be aware of what are the things that you're really eating each and every single day. But I mean, this journey that I've been on to lose those 20 pounds, that was like the easiest thing I ever done, like trying to lose weight. When I did it the easy way, it works. So when you discipline yourself in a positive, like Bruce was saying, in the self-gratifying, or what you call it, Bruce?
Self-selective, self-affirming, the choice.
Mhm.
If the goal is self-identified, pardon me, but I got this fly buzzing around. Yeah.
Battle of the fly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think in most respects, as adults, when we choose certain things, discipline is really wonderful. I think I got him. I don't know.
Not to discipline it.
But I do think, in autocratic societies, discipline is a way of keeping people under your thumb, keeping people down. Actually, it's a justification for legal homicide. Um, we saw that with the Rodney King thing, where the police officer had his knee on this guy's neck. And the guy kept saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And then he died, So were the police officers punishable? Because they were the force. They were there to uphold law and order, But when does discipline cross the boundaries?
Mhm. Yeah, I think at that area they were using excessive force that there was no need for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to call it discipline, but I mean, there's a certain limitation, certain limits where you can misuse your power, like the cops in this instance. I mean, there's a way to discipline them. They already had control over this guy. I mean, he can't move. Like, why do you need to put your knee and apply extra force to the person you already have total control over this person?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that's discipline in a nutshell, guys. Any other stuff you want to add to this conversation that we're having, Coach Ceci?
Well, there's many ways to achieve discipline, and we need in life to create habits. We need that discipline, believe it or not, in ourselves and whatever the entity we belong to.
Mm-hmm.
So if we follow the code of behavior, and is for our benefit, to the benefit of everybody. So discipline is always been the intention is the knowledge, the concept is positive. But if people take those practice to abuse what they wanna do, there's something different. That's not discipline. That's coercion a person. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you go against the wish of somebody, the wish or the will for people. That's not discipline. So
And I need to make an editorial correction.
you
That was
freedom,
George
you got
Floyd.
discipline. Huh? Sorry.
That was George Floyd, not Rodney King. So I apologize for my mistake.
You're talking about Black Lives Matter. That's
Right.
after the.
Right.
Okay. And
Right.
any lives, any human beings' lives is sacred. Nobody can take that away from nobody.
Mhm.
It's what my Buddhist practice says. Once you step in the space of somebody else, you're not respecting the life of somebody.
Right. We just had a big to do here in Chicago. It was about no-knock warrants, where police would break into apartments without a warrant, without a search warrant. And they broke into the apartment of a woman. I think she was a school teacher, but she was naked. She had come out of the shower. She didn't have a robe on. And the police, assumed that she was the perpetrator of something. And they were holding her naked, for, I guess, several minutes. I don't know how long. And she eventually sued the police because they went into the wrong apartment. Even from their own records, it was the wrong apartment. And just the fact that they could dehumanize somebody like that because they're the law enforcement, they're the representative of the law. They're supposedly to serve and protect and enforce discipline for the rest of us. And yet, I wouldn't want to be a police officer today because you're being looked at all the time. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. it's just a precarious time right now. So
Yes.
interesting discussion about is discipline good or is discipline bad? And it can go either way as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and we want to hear from our audience. Type in the comments like what's discipline for you? Is it good or is it bad? Or we want to hear your side of the story. So if you don't mind, just put it in the chat. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it both? We want to hear from you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Coach Cecilia, any last words?
For me, is a way of building yourself, your life independently, and create something of yourself, from yourself and for yourself too. And if you create something for yourself, you're gonna benefit people around you. So, it's for me, it's a very positive connotation. Discipline. It's positive because without that, we don't create. We need to create habits because we humans, we create habits, and the habits develop a special behavior. And if we don't repeat and work in that one, if we don't follow something, we're not going to have ourselves as somebody who will be proud of in any space where we belong to. So it's very positive for me to have discipline. And what people abuse sometimes the discipline, the people don't follow that, or people, this is in itself is very positive and needed to be in any organization and any human being in order to understand each other as human beings.
Yes.
Thank you.
Coach Juan, any final words from you?
No, I think it's all set in stone now for today.
Very good. All right. Thank you again, Lunch and Learners, for sharing part of your lunch hour with us. And until Friday.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for being
Thank you. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Yeah.
And let's talk about discipline. Let's send a message about